Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ProWrestlingPowerhouse.com Year End Awards and the inaugural edition of PWP TV. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever edition of ProWrestlingPowerhouse.com TV. I am here with none other than my co-host on PWP Radio, which you can find every Tuesday night on Blog Talk Radio at 9 p.m., Will TLD Vafides. How you doing, Will?
Jay, I am great. I even dressed for the part, unlike some people here. I got a tie and my colors. You know, you got to look a little more professional, you know.
I think I'm looking pretty good. I'm looking slick. I got my nice watch on. I'm ready for the occasion.
Well, I got my girlfriend's ring. She's going to be a little angry.
This is absolutely exciting, folks. Tonight is the night. The Pro Wrestling Powerhouse Year End Awards are happening right here on PWP TV.
And that's for the year 2002 or 2012, right?
2012. 2012. Not 2000. I wish it was 2002, but we're going 2012 all the way tonight.
I just wish I was younger. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely.
All right, so what we got our first? We got our first category, right? I don't have a sheet in front of me. You have the whole sheet.
First category is Champion of the Year. Now, Will, there were a lot of great champions this year in the world of professional wrestling. When you talk about Ring of Honor, you talk about TNA Wrestling, you talk about the WWE, and even all around the independent circuit. There were a lot of great nominees for this award. And the top 4 nominees for Champion of the Year are Austin Aries, Kevin Steen, Bobby Roode, and CM Punk. Now, without further ado, you've got your candidates. Here is the PWP Year End Award for Champion of the Year. CM Punk, what a surprise, ladies and gentlemen. CM Punk, who else would it be? No question about it. He is Champion of the Year for 2012, not just for PWP, but in the hearts of everybody out there. No question about it.
You know, it's all about CM Punk this year. You know, heavyweight champion of the world, proving that the championship title actually now means a lot. In fact, when was the last time you remember that the heavyweight title meant something like this? At least the WWE portion of that.
Well, he has brought a lot of prestige to the WWE Championship. There's no doubt about it.
Go CM Punk.
Absolutely. The momentum he has is just carrying over into 2013. And we'll be happy to be at WrestleMania and watch CM Punk to defend his WWE Championship.
Yes.
Now, most memorable moment of the year for 2012.
When ProWrestlingPowerhouse.com came on the air.
Well, we got going in April. And it was definitely a memorable moment that got us going, but was it the most memorable moment?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Very possible.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
Here are your nominees for most memorable moment of the year in 2012. The Jerry Lawler heart attack on Monday Night Raw. Devon Dudley being revealed as a member of Aces and Eights. Brock Lesnar returning to the WWE. And CM Punk at Raw 1000 GTSing The Rock and turning on the WWE Universe. All 4 of these memories were amazing, ladies and gentlemen, but in 2012 there was one that you voted on for the most memorable moment of the year. What a surprise. The one, the only, Brock Lesnar and his return to WWE the night after WrestleMania 28.
You know, I did like Brock Lesnar returning. I think that was a great moment in wrestling, just to see a guy who really had no passion to be back in the WWE, had a really hard time at the end of his UFC career, now came back to where he started his entire legacy, and that was back in the WWE, and was going to bring that MMA style here. I would say I was not memorable, I would say. I guess it could be a big memory because it was a big moment. To me, when Devon was revealed as the Aces and Eights, I had no idea that was coming.
Well, TNA set everything up for that. I mean, Devon was going out there and talking about how he was in contract negotiations with WWE. How he had left TNA and they weren't negotiating his contract anymore. Contract negotiations completely fell through.
And they went on air and actually mentioned it too, which made even more of a, back when your head kind of feel that it was coming out. I mean, this is obviously the biggest star, they could do, with the return. Just to me, I think that shock factor, remember, that's why it's called a memorable moment, not most shocking moment. Okay?
All right, on to the next category, folks. We're going with Surprise Superstar of the Year in 2012. There are a lot of big surprises.
Surprises.
A lot of debuts, a lot of wrestlers that kind of came out of nowhere across the entire world of pro wrestling, especially TLD. He comes out of nowhere all the time. I don't even know what he's doing here.
Yeah,
but
I got the key. Remember, you gave me the key.
There's a lot of big surprise superstars. And
why don't we talk about them?
Yeah, absolutely. So the nominees for Surprise Superstar of the Year are Daniel Bryan, Antonio Cesaro, Ryback, and Bully Ray. There were many surprises in the year 2012 in the professional wrestling business, but here is your award that you voted on for Surprise Superstar of the Year. Daniel Bryan, my man, my favorite wrestler out there. Not only in my mind is he Surprise Superstar of the Year, but he will always be the Superstar of the Year to me.
Daniel Bryan, you remember right here in this arena, that we... Studio, thank you, we'll call it studio. That we were watching this match and I was laughing my ass off. And I absolutely loved it. And I loved it for the reason that I knew that man was now going to be a star because of that. And I know a lot of people were like totally hating on it. They were like the whole show was ruined. The show was just better. Daniel Bryan never, and I'm telling you now, would have never gotten over the way he did because of that. And it's all because of the AJ storyline and the no's and the yeses. Like the yeses were already big, and then they were able to turn that around into no and making it two of the most popular chants. And now, even when you go around, sometimes I hear people doing that all the time now.
Congratulations to Daniel Bryan, your Surprise Superstar of the Year.
What's that? We got Commentator right next to the year?
Commentator, yeah, next up, Commentator of the Year.
But we have some great commentators. We have John Bradshaw Layfield. We have Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler, and of course, good old JR came back sometime during the year. So I'm looking forward. Who's going to be the winner, Jay?
Don't forget about Mike Tenay. You got to throw him in there. Mike Tenay does a great job every week. As voted on by you, the Pro Wrestling Powerhouse fans, here is your 2012 Commentator of the Year. Although he just got going recently, it's none other than John Bradshaw Layfield himself, JBL.
But honestly, to me, I don't think JBL's Commentator of the Year. He's only been around a couple months. To me, Michael Cole is the Commentator of the Year. The fact that he had to deal with that whole situation on his own out there and had to be silent, that was the first time in the longest time there was no commentary at all. And the picture that was taken of Michael Cole showing his head down, upset, and God bless the man for keeping his control. To me, I believe Michael Cole should be Commentator of the Year, not JBL, just because of that one mode that maybe I think a lot of fans finally said, you know what, Michael Cole's a real good guy. And that was, to me, that's why I think that's, people's perceptions changed of Michael Cole that day.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Michael Cole, it wasn't just a commentator duty that he pulled a human being duty that night.
Right.
And it was the biggest tragedy of the year, easily, in the wrestling business. And Michael Cole really showed what kind of professional he is. Mm-hmm. And he was able to continue to do shows past then. He didn't commentate the rest of that show, but he gave us updates on Jerry Lawler and what had transpired. But I'll give JBL credit where credit's due. Mm-hmm. He came into WWE. Who knows what kind of script he has? When you listen to him commentate, he kind of just shoots from the hip. And he is brutal on Josh Matthews. Absolutely brutal each week on SmackDown on Josh Matthews, and that makes me laugh. Yeah. So, JBL, your 2012 Commentator of the Year.
It's getting hot back here. I think I need a break. I'll be right back. All right, let me just take care of
No problem, Will. Go right ahead.
TLD.
We'll be right back.
What was your opinion when Kenny King showed up on TNA?
Damn, what's going to happen next? Because... I found out that morning, and I was just like, wow, shocked and, kind of worried and not really knowing what was going on, and it was just crazy, you know, because it's just something you didn't expect. And just as we got, you know, those Ring of Honor tag titles, we, you know, got them taken away just as quick. It was just crazy, weird feeling, and, you know, I got a million different weird calls that day, and it was just craziness. And it's not something you really want to go through. But, you know, it happens, and, you know, it's great for Kenny. You know, he signed a contract with TNA, so it's awesome for him. And I'm extremely happy for him, and, you know, wish him nothing but best of luck over at TNA. And, you know, he'll continue to make an impact over there, and, you know, I'll keep doing my thing over in Ring of Honor. And, you know, it's I'm very happy for him.
That was a spot from PWP Radio on blogtalkradio.com/PWP Radio, which you could find each and every week right here on ProWrestlingPowerhouse.com. And now, I don't know where TLD went. He kind of wandered. Oh, here he's back. Look at this guy. What have you been doing, Will?
Well, I was looking at my contract that you had me sign a long time ago, and I don't have a vote of confidence in you. So I was allowed, because of that, to wear my own TLD merchandise, available at TLDWrestling.com.
He keeps bringing up this contract. I don't know what he's talking about.
It's not a contract. You don't read it. Very well. You wrote it. I don't know.
All right. He keeps bringing about this contract. The contract's null and void. It's okay, but definitely visit TLDWrestling.com.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check out all the merchandise he has.
And by the way, for Christmas I bought a lot of stuff on Amazon too.
Definitely check out our Amazon store. You can find it at ProWrestlingPowerhouse.com. There's a lot of links up and whatnot. But right now, let's get back down to business, Will.
Sure.
Since you're back and you're ready to rock and roll, you got the Santa hat on.
I'm ready to rock and roll and TLD it.
Rookie of the Year. Here are your nominations for PWP Award for Rookie of the Year. We've got none other than Antonio Cesaro. We've got Damian Sandow, Zema Ion, and the incomparable Ryback. In what is one of the most prestigious moments of the entire year, here is your award for Rookie of the Year. The incomparable Ryback, and I call him incomparable, laughing at all you marks that think he's a Goldberg ripoff. Ryback is your 2012 PWP Award winner for Rookie of the Year. What are your thoughts on Ryback and his run so far in 2012?
This guy has been a dominant figure since coming back from his old role as Skip Sheffield, now as Ryback. Honestly, you can't compare him to what he used to do in the Nexus. This is like a completely different character. No one ever calls him Skip Sheffield, nothing like that. They know him as Ryback. Now, the Goldberg chance, he's got to get away from that. There's a lot of people who are very adamant that he is Goldberg, which actually doesn't help him. I mean, but then again, if you remember back on the TLC pay-per-view, a lot of people started that way, but at the end of the day, they were saying, feed me more. And that's what I think is critical, that people will jump on the bandwagon saying, this guy looks like Goldberg, but he's not Goldberg. You know?
That's the chant. The feed me more chant is what really gets Ryback over.
Absolutely. And it's a catchy chant, too.
Yeah, I get it that he's got a setup move where he starts in the corner, and he's got a dominating finishing move.
This is a guy that has the strength, he has the look, he has the attitude. You know, he hasn't, the last match he just had at TLC is considered one of the best matches of the year. In fact, to me, I even said on the radio show, was one of the best six-man tag matches I've ever seen in my life. And
we talked about it extensively. That
he's part of that.
He was a big part of the amazing spots they had going on because of his unbelievable strength. And WWE is showcasing that in the right way. So if you don't
come over the ladder and had him up, I mean, I couldn't even think of the things that he was doing.
Unbelievable feats of strength from Ryback. So he is your 2012 Pro Wrestling Powerhouse Rookie of the Year. Now moving right along, Promotion of the Year, Will. Now we know about
many promotions out there, ladies and gentlemen.
We mainly
got PWS, we got like Chikara, we got so many of them out there, right?
Yeah, there's tons.
So many independent promotions. I guarantee we're going to have independent wrestling promotions.
So right now, here will be your nominees for Promotion of the Year. WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, And get this, Will, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Out of all the promotions in the entire world, you the fans voted on this one as Promotion of the Year for 2012. What a surprise! The WWE, the worldwide leader in sports entertainment, is your 2012 Promotion of the Year. You know what?
I'm happy. I thought Jakara was going to win.
I thought for sure with their ants and their ice cream and their
ice cream.
I got you. You want some ice cream? We got some on set.
I'm still waiting for the pizza.
We're gonna get pizza too. But WWE is the flag bearer for not only sports entertainment but for professional wrestling. I don't care what you say. WWE's got the best wrestling. They got the best wrestling product out there, and they're proving it each and every week by elevating new talent to the top, giving people something to watch on pretty much every day of the week. When there's a pay-per-view, WWE is on 4 or 5 times a week.
Right, and some people say that's a problem, but you know what? We want more wrestling. We like to see wrestling. You have WWE's main event. Now they have the Saturday morning slam for half hour, the fun children's show that we used to watch a long time ago. We're not children anymore, but I guarantee if we were, we'd be watching that Saturday morning slam. We'd be watching that WWE main event. That's what, we would have grown on if we were now like 20 years younger, but we're not, and we're used to what we saw in the past. But this is the promotion that knows what they're doing. They are moving some new talent up with the Shield, Big E Langston, Ryback. These are, I'm talking about right there, 5 names that are OVW guys that are now featured prominently on WWE television.
Well, let me correct you. It's not OVW, it's FCW, which later formed into NXT, which is also another show that WWE does, and it showcases the future of the business.
They won't call my call. They won't turn my calls either.
Next, we're going to go with TV Show of the Year. As we just mentioned with the WWE, there were a lot of TV shows this year. They've moved ahead in that realm. But here are your nominees.
They got paid for it, too.
Absolutely, they did. Here are your nominees, though. Monday Night Raw, NXT, WWE Main Event, and how about TNA Impact Wrestling? Without further ado, here's what you voted for Professional Wrestling TV Show of the Year in 2012. Impact Wrestling is your winner. So WWE gets Promotion of the Year, and Impact Wrestling gets TV Show of the Year. Congratulations to those goons down in Orlando, Florida.
To me, Impact Wrestling did show a lot of promise this year. They went live for the first time on a constant basis all year. That's a growth of that. But then people can say, well, Raw went 3 hours permanently this year as well. So TV has really changed this last year. They've added WWE Main Event. They added Saturday Morning Slam. Impact went live, and WWE Raw went 3 hours. So think of how much wrestling that is in a week that we always get now. So we get a lot of options, now. And Impact Wrestling grew a lot this year. The ratings, ratings really don't matter anymore. You watch it on YouTube, you watch it on DVR. They don't count every single thing anymore. So obviously Spike TV is very happy with the product. They're going forward with it. They're doing more live shows than they're supposed to be doing. So in a way, that's growth. WWE had growth because USA Network wants more hours. So they gave them 3 hours. Gave us more wrestling. Why are people bitching? I don't get it.
Well, my problem with Impact Wrestling and the TV show they put on each and every Thursday night, I don't care if it's live or taped, they've always been 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I've been watching these guys forever, and I'm sick of it, and that's why I don't think Impact Wrestling should be the TV show of the year, but you do. So
right.
There's
it's all about you fans, not what Jay Leto thinks all the time.
Absolutely. Jersey Strong
TLD
Jay.
at TLDWrestling.com agrees.
Impact Wrestling, your 2012 TV show of the year.
It's okay, son.
Hey.
It's your first time.
First timer here.
In a long time. We've always been YouTube stars. But we have some good footage to show people on Blog Talk Radio, right? In fact, I'll let you have a break because I know you're kind of getting sweat. I can see you. There you go.
A little bit of sweat, sweat.
So why don't we go to Blog Talk Radio footage of the Big O, who was on our show, and let's see what some great comments he had to say to you guys, the PWP universe.
Zack Ryder and I met about 5 years ago in the gym that I work out at Gold's Gym in Belmore, Long Island, New York. And Zack Ryder is a year older than me, and he actually has a younger brother who's my age. So I actually knew his brother way before I knew him, and his brother and I used to like play semi-pro football together. And I guess when Ryder was home on like the weekdays when he wasn't on the road traveling, he used to like get guest passes all the time and train in Gold's Gym. And his brother introduced me to him, and in passing, like, we would say what's up to each other in the gym and stuff, but he was always looking at me like, oh, who's this loud, obnoxious guy in the gym slamming the weights around? And I looked at him like, oh, who does this guy think he is? He's some WWE superstar. I don't care. That doesn't impress me, like, you know? But then one day, he was doing legs in the gym, and I walked up to him, and I had my radio on, and I was listening to a song by New Kids on the Block. And I saw on Facebook, like maybe a day or two before that, he posted the lyrics to the song that I was listening to. So I thought, oh, hey, this would be a gas. Let me just walk up behind him, put my headphone in his ear real quick, and he'll hear the song that he was just singing, you know? And, you know, I put my headphones in his ear. He turned around, he smiled, and he goes, yo, Big O, you're all right. And from that day on, like, we became friends, and we started hanging out, and we just got really tight.
That was none other than Oh You Didn't Know radio host Seth with the Big O, who is friends with Zack Ryder. And who knows, maybe Zack Ryder will be your Wrestler of the Year this year.
Oh, absolutely. I could see that happening. Right now, his career's going really good.
It's kind of downhill.
Sorry. That was a choke.
But right now, we will give you the nominees for Pay-Per-View of the Year, TNA Bound for Glory 2012, WrestleMania 28, Hell in a Cell, and WWE Extreme Rules 2012. In one of the more intriguing categories in this year's awards, here is your winner for 2012 Pay-Per-View of the Year. Your favorite and mine, WWE Extreme Rules 2012 from Chicago, Illinois, wins the PWP Award for Pay-Per-View of the Year.
Well, the best part was The Miz was on the YouTube show, so that was my favorite part of the whole pay-per-view.
That was it? Just The Miz being on YouTube?
Okay.
The Miz being on YouTube? You're leaving out some fantastic matches.
Yeah, there were some.
Look at this card. 2 out of 3 falls. They made up for their blunder at WrestleMania, the 18 seconds. You had Sheamus and Daniel Bryan going at it in probably Sheamus' best match of all time.
And Daniel Bryan.
But no. Yeah. But the 2 main events were absolutely spectacular. Right. I'm talking about CM Punk versus Chris Jericho in a street fight in Chicago, Punk's hometown. Right. You can't really get away from that hometown crowd with CM Punk. They are absolutely out of their minds and insane all the time. That's for you, all you Chicago fans out there.
Yep.
But how about Brock Lesnar and John Cena? I mean, we mentioned this earlier, but Brock Lesnar literally beat the hell out of John Cena.
We're talking from top to bottom, even from the opening match of Randy Orton versus Kane to all the way to that match. It was just a great overall show. Okay, Backlash, Extreme Rules, whatever you want to call it, they really hit the nail on the head this year, and they got the award right here. Here it is. Yes. This is a wrestler, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not a baseball player. That is a wrestler.
It doesn't say Jay Leno on it. It says,
yes, it does.
Rules.
I won this trophy. But anyway, WWE Extreme Rules 2012, your pay-per-view of the year.
Oh, we're getting to the top 4 now.
We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Up next, your feud of the year for 2012. Once again, stacked. A lot of great feuds, but here are your 4 nominees. The Rock versus John Cena. A year in the making, folks. Ace and Eights versus the TNA roster. CM Punk versus Chris Jericho? Or how about Bobby Roode versus James Storm? Although there were a lot of memorable feuds in 2012, here is your winner for Feud of the Year. CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, the feud over the best in the world, is your PWP Award winner for Feud of the Year.
You know, it started off strong, I thought, in the beginning, where we had the best ever and the best in the world going against each other. It was just a nice combination. People wanted to see that feud. Did I think it came off the right way? Well, they really started going very personal into the whole, father and mother thing and the sister thing. Got very personal for Chris Jericho.
Personally, my favorite feud was the love triangle with CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Kane, and AJ. That's a square. That's a love square.
Yeah, that's a whole square.
And yeah, that's some kinky stuff going on. But on the Chris Jericho and CM Punk note, I mean, best in the world, they could have just wrestled over this. They could have had wrestling match after wrestling match.
Right.
You didn't have to get personal with it.
Right.
Especially at WrestleMania, where they added a stipulation that if Punk got disqualified, he lost the WWE Championship.
Right.
And Chris Jericho kept going that, how about your father?
Yeah.
How about your sister?
I still thought that was still good when they added that little... I thought it was good adding the stipulation because, you know, that added a little bit more to it. Now, did it need it? Most people would say
no. It wasn't necessary.
But it still wasn't bad. I thought that would have been good for Extreme Rules, but then again, it was
Extreme Rules match. It was a Chicago Street fight. The matches were great, and I think they could have continued. The feud could have went on. They could have gotten a lot more time out of it than they did. But for Feud of the Year, it really doesn't get much better than these two guys wrestling over best in the world. So CM Punk versus Chris Jericho is your 2012 PWP Award winner for Feud of the Year.
What's the next time on your paper? Because I don't have one.
We're getting to the top three.
Top three awards of PWP Awards.
Match of the Year right here, right now. Here are your nominees for Match of the Year. There were a lot of great ones once again. Big Show versus Sheamus at Hell in a Cell. John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 28. The Undertaker versus Triple H. And CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan at Over the Limit. There were a lot of great matches throughout the entire professional wrestling circuit this year, but here's what you voted on for PWP Match of the Year. Wow, what a memorable moment that was, and what a match it was. Triple H versus The Undertaker, end of an era match inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 28.
I mean, that was just like, if it was, that was like just an amazing moment to watch. The fact that Shawn Michaels even super kicked The Undertaker to try to help end the streak, and he couldn't do it. Just so much ring psychology built into that match. Yet, yes, we had the Hell in a, you know, a lot of people were looking to that match and saying, no stipulation was added. What was the point of the end of an era? They added the Hell in the Cell element. Good.
I loved it too. The one knock on it that people over the internet and UIWC really have, the one knock that I consistently hear is that Hell in a Cell wasn't necessary, but I disagree completely.
They really didn't use the Hell in the Cell that much. In fact, they really didn't use much of it at all.
Yeah, but...
You know, but the idea was just, it's The Undertaker, Hell in the Cell is significant with him, you know, and it's just... You know, these guys in that environment, they've never been in that environment, at least in the singles competition environment, with Shawn Michaels added, who was part of the first Hell in the Cell. There's just so many elements, and, you know, how many Hell in the Cells Triple H has been in?
Yeah, exactly.
How many The Undertaker's been in? These two guys are Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, right? Did you need it? No, but if you didn't have it, it was the same match they had last year.
Right, if it was a no disqualification match, it would have made a difference.
So there's your 2012 Match of the Year. The PWP Award goes to The Undertaker, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. You'll be getting them in the mail, guys.
I don't get it.
Now, Tag Team of the Year is next. Here are your nominees for Tag Team of the Year in 2012. Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas from Ring of Honor. Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane. Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. And how about the Briscoe brothers? 2012 saw rejuvenation in the wrestling business for tag teams. And here's what you voted on for Tag Team of the Year. None other than Christopher Daniels and Kazarian are your winners. I gotta say, they have been impressive and have rejuvenated both of their careers in doing so.
You know, Danz and Kaz really grew on me as a team. Their comedy started coming out towards the end of the year, and they really took that. If it wasn't for them and that AJ Clara Lynch storyline, that storyline would have been one of the worst storylines of
It's not even a storyline. It's not even a storyline of them.
But they made that work. They really brought out a lot of, you know, like funny factors out of it. They turned that into a comedy segment, but also they really messed with AJ's whole, you know, summer, basically. They ruined AJ Styles in a way. If you really think about it, they really did. They quoted the World Tag Team titles of the world, you know, which is just a hilarious statement that they're world champions twice in the same world.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
It was an extremely close call. Kaz and Daniels won by 2 votes only.
2 votes.
Over Team Hell No.
Out of millions.
I'll tell you what, I'll give them credit where credit's due. They've been entertaining.
Yes.
And it's not,
and one of the most entertaining parts of TNA. Every time they're on, like I was watching just a segment the other week of the Christmas where they just had Santa come on the show, taking a picture with Santa. Just the funny stuff that I remember wrestling used to be like. We used to see that all the time in WWE.
Correct. They
really take that with them.
They've been able to tell Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, just walk out there and be as big of douchebags as you can possibly be. And
Throwback, I think their name is.
That's what you get. You get Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, your 2012 Tag Team of the Year. Mm-hmm. Now for your top 2 categories, Will.
Yes.
I don't know what you're doing there, but top 2 categories, we're going to start with Female Wrestler of the Year.
Not Diva.
Not Diva. We're going Female Wrestler, and this vote was pretty unanimous, but here are your nominees for Female Wrestler of the Year. Brooke Tessmacher, Tara, Eve Torres, and AJ Lee. Women wrestling is something that us here at PWP really enjoy, and here's who you voted on for the Women's Wrestler of the Year. Eve Torres. She's rejuvenated her career this year, and she is your 2012 PWP Award winner for Female Wrestler of the Year. Now, not only was she the top female wrestler, but she was definitely a big part of the show. She's Booker T's assistant. She was a big part of John Laurinaitis' administration. But being the Female Wrestler of the Year holds a certain aura, I would say, in the whole entire business. I mean, she's done it this year consistently. No matter which woman they put in there with her, she's able to get the job done. So, Will, what are your thoughts on Eve Torres?
Eve Torres, what do you got to say about her, man? Look at it. What else you got to say?
Yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. Well, that's Eve Torres, your 2012 Female Wrestler of the Year.
Now we can go.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, our final category.
I've been waiting for this category all
This
night.
is it. This is the big one.
Absolutely.
This is the big one. We're going Male Wrestler of the Year. Not take anything away from the Female Wrestler of the Year, but the Male Wrestler of the Year is the benchmark in the entire business.
I know.
And here are your nominees.
I'm looking forward to it.
Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Austin Aries, and CM Punk. And last but not least, here is who you voted for PWP 2012 Wrestler of the Year. None other than CM Punk. What a year he had. WWE champion for well over a year now. CM Punk is your winner of the 2012 PWP Award for Wrestler of the Year. But CM Punk has won it. I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry, TLD.
I voted so many times.
No, but the thing about voting is...
How many votes could I possibly need to win Wrestler of the Year?
I can see who votes.
It's not fair.
You can't vote for yourself.
Oh.
However, CM Punk, it's well-deserved. I probably would have personally voted for Daniel Bryan. I'm glad he was a nominee. However, CM Punk was consistent, WWE champion for the entire year of 2012 and more, seemingly. However, Wrestler of the Year goes to the guy that can he's the benchmark of the business. He's the guy that everybody looks to for leadership, for just setting the pace and setting the scale in the entire wrestling industry. What are your thoughts, once again, on our Wrestler of the Year, CM Punk?
Yeah, Wrestler of the Year, no doubt about it. As far as a consistent basis of, this is what happens, man. When I'm on the air, I'm trying to talk, the light goes out. Whatever.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm going to keep going.
It's the first show.
It's YouTube.
It's the first show. It's YouTube. We're ProWrestlingPowerhouse.com. And let's have Will continue. CM Punk.
So CM Punk showed us that he can be he's not a performer, a talker, that he's a champion also. And he's consistently held that belt for so long, going from face to heel within 1 year and becoming the biggest face in the company to the biggest heel. I wouldn't say the biggest face in the company, but number 2. You know, the problem is CM Punk is number 2. And I think that the fact that he went from number 2 to being number 1 now as the number 1 heel in the company is what he wants. He wants to be number 1. And he can't do it as a face when John Cena is always the poster boy for the WWE.
Well, I think CM Punk beat Randy Orton to the punch on being the top heel,
right.
because there was a lot of rumors floating around those news sites that they were contemplating whether it was CM Punk or Randy Orton to be the top heel, and I'm glad CM Punk got it because, as you said, there can't be 2, there can only be 1.
And Randy Orton honestly didn't deserve that honor based on what he's been doing the last year too. He hasn't really performed on the level I think that he has been.
Another wellness violation.
Another wellness violation. One more for being fired. You know, this guy, he's on a constant level. He asked for, you know, in 2011 he said, "I want to be a star or I'm leaving." WWE knew he had the potential because they gave him a pipe bomb, and that's what they gave him. And now this year he continued with some great matches. You know, the fans really love him. The internet wrestling community is that's like their go-to guy, clearly, because he won. Yeah. You know, and now they love him as a heel. Paul Heyman came back full-time now, and which we all love, a little Paul Heyman in our lives. You know, and CM Punk is the reason why Paul Heyman stayed around, because he loves this guy. He knows the potential. And the DVD he had this year was the top DVD of the whole year. So how can this not be Wrestler of the Year? Yeah,
WWE got the promotional machine.
Superstar of the Year,
they got the promotional machine behind CM Punk with not only the DVD, as you mentioned, but the video game. Mm-hmm. I mean, they put him on the cover of WWE 13.
Yeah.
They have all this merchandise for CM Punk, and that is really shows you that WWE believes in this guy. Mm-hmm. And moving forward, he'll not only be the top heel, but one of the top wrestlers each and every year as long as he decides to stay around.
Right, absolutely.
So that wraps up your 2012 PWP Year End Awards, and what a show it has been.
Oh my God, this is like the best show in the entire world.
Absolutely. We're going to try to do more of these. We're going to try to pump these out. This is the first episode of PWP TV. Please check us out on Twitter at PW Powerhouse, on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Powerhouse, and also on Blog Talk Radio each and every week, blogtalkradio.com/PWP Radio. On iTunes,
search iTunes.
Yes, search PWP Radio or Pro Wrestling Powerhouse, and definitely go to ProWrestlingPowerhouse.com.
That's right. You can look at all the great articles that we have on the website. People are writing some great stuff every single day after Raw, after pay-per-views. You have to look at these articles.
We're only getting bigger and better, folks.
That's
this is just the beginning. 2013 is a huge year for Pro Wrestling Powerhouse. For my man, Will TLD Vafidez, I am Jersey Strong Jay. Keep it real.
Why does the light always go out every time I'm on the air?
It's YouTube.